The Houston Community College Board of Trustees meeting will begin soon. Please wait.
Good afternoon. The regular meeting will now come to order on August 21st, 2024 at
4:13 p.m.
This meeting was called for the purpose as listed on the duly posted meeting notice. We would like to remember in our thoughts and prayers the family of former HCC trustee Bruce Austin, who passed away on Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. Mr. Austin was elected to the HCC Board of Trustees in 1989 and served until December 2013. He served in many capacities on the board, including board chair in 1990, 2000, and 2013. Services are scheduled for Friday, August 30th, 2024 at 10 a.m. at Our Mother of Mercy Catholic Church, which is located at 4000 Sumter Street, Houston, Texas, 77020. A resolution will be presented to the family on behalf of the board, administration, and the entire HCC family. At this time, please join Trustee Eva Laredo for the prayer, followed by the pledge.
Let's stand, please. Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the blessings you have given to our families at Houston Community College. Fill us with wisdom, knowledge, and patience. May we continue to be the bright light for our community. We pray for our leaders in all the institutions. Keep our students, faculty, trustees healthy and strong. Hugs to all. Amen. Amen. Our pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now ready to approve the minutes from the Academic and Student Affairs, Board Governance, Committee of the Whole, and special meetings on June 5th, 2024, and regular meeting on June 26th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for June 2024?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and second. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If there are no corrections, we are now ready to vote on the approval of the minutes for June 2024. What's wrong?
Me voting aye. Trustee Davies received. Voting has concluded. The motion passed with a vote of 7 in favor and no opposition, no opposed.
We will now move on to our awards, presentations, and recognitions. Todd Duplantis will introduce the awards, presentations, and recognitions.
Good afternoon. It is a pleasure to invite members of the Society of Iranian American Women of Education, Jill Asir, and HCC Foundation President Karen Schmidt to join the trustees and chancellor in front of the dais for the check presentation in recognition of the $25,000 gift from Siawi in support of scholarships for our HCC students. Thank you to all our donors for the generous contribution in support of the HCC Foundation, and our students, trustees, please remain in front of the dais for the next presentation. We'll provide an opportunity for remarks at the end of the recognitions. Next up, we invite Dr. Dejan Grigsby to join the trustees and chancellor in front of the dais for recognition as the outgoing Faculty Senate President for 2023 to 2024. We appreciate the leadership of Dr. Grigsby, rendered as Faculty Senate President for 23 and 24, with the following accomplishments. Almost $12,000 in Faculty Senate emergency funds were approved to support more than 30 adjuncts from Faculty Senate post-Barrel. A record-breaking fundraising year was realized at the 40th Annual Faculty Senate Bedichek-Orman Auction. Faculty Senate Conference hosted the annual Rigor Workshop for the first time this year, co-chaired by the Student Success Summit in April to help deepen the conversation between the instructional and student services, oversaw the compensation committee then realized a 7.5% increase in faculty compensation and a pay increase for adjuncts, as well as served on various task force and councils throughout the year, such as the SB 17 Task Force, AI Governance, and Opportunities Council. Congratulations. Thank you, Dr. Grigsby, for your leadership on the Faculty Senate, and congratulations on your accomplishments. We now invite Staff Senate President Erin Henry to join the trustees and chancellor in front of the dais for recognition as Staff Senate President for 2023 and 2024. Erin served on the Staff Senate Design Team and its inaugural Staff Senate President. This year's Staff Senate accomplishments included crafted Constitution and bylaws, set up working committed structure focusing on issues such as campus culture, graduation, professional development, campus safety, and ad hoc compensation committee, finance, student success committee, established staff emergency funds, focused on a professional development for staff, and much more. Congratulations. And thank you for your support throughout the year. Trustees and Chancellor, you may now return to the dais. And at this time, we invite Ms. Karen Schmidt to the podium for remarks on our check presentation.
Thank you, Board Chair Lenton Gary, Chancellor Ford Fisher, and trustees. I'm honored to have the opportunity as HCC Foundation President to thank the Society of Iranian American Women for Education for its support of Houston Community College Foundation. The Society has been a longtime supporter of HCC student scholarships and has recently given a gift of $25,000 to its existing HCC Foundation Endowment Fund, which will provide additional scholarships for HCC students. One of Swami's key goals is to provide scholarships to qualified college students who otherwise would not have the financial means to achieve their education and career dreams. Currently, Swami offers scholarships at 11 Texas schools. We are so grateful to retired HCC staff member Parvin Bagapour, president of the Society of Iranian American Women for Education, who is with us today to represent the group and who has advocated for the creation of this HCC Foundation Scholarship. I now would like to invite Dr. Bhagapur to the podium. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. As I said last time, this is my second home. I've worked for HCC for 30 years, and I retired September 2016. The Society of Iranian American Women is, their goal is to educate our community. And for past 20 years, we donated more than $1 million to different colleges to make sure, the education they need, they can get. I always believe, and my board also believe, that the community college is a cornerstone of education. And we strongly believe that education is a tool to success. Thank you so much to give me opportunity to have a 2-3 minutes speech. And I want to thank the board and our chancellor here, one of the best that I know, and then good to see everyone. And thank you again for opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, and thank you again to Siawi for their donation and support to HCC. Madam Chair, this concludes the awards, presentations, and recognitions.
Yes. Go ahead.
Every time I go by your parking place, I think about you when I pull up out here. So thank you very much for the donation. It's appreciated, and we'll spend it wisely. Thank you.
We will now open the floor for trustees to provide information regarding activities in their respective districts, an overview from conferences or workshops attended, and/or to recognize individuals for outstanding contributions in the community that promote education and community service. We ask that you please limit your comments to no more than 2 minutes. Trustee Laredo.
Thank you. This past few months, I was out in the community via phone and social media, and so I was encouraging the students to make sure that they enrolled in college, and also just to continue their education. I also had the opportunity to speak at the American Legion scholarship presentation with the Ladies Auxiliary, and we were able to give out 14 scholarships, and thanks to also HCC for helping them out with it. Also, I did have the opportunity as the Hispanic Scholarship Committee to meet with the foundation and tell them how we really our students needed help with emergency funds to have a jump start on their education. So I'm glad to see that that's possible at the different colleges. So that should help boost our enrollment. Also, I was out there speaking for honoring our fallen soldiers. So, I also had the opportunity to have worked with Dr. Bruce Austin, and he was also a very strong proponent of education, and so he'll be pushing that on in heaven. So we will miss him. So thank you.
Yes, I just wanted to thank the Northeast College again for the back-to-school drives that they were able to engage with parents and students, high school, college, middle school, that I was very proud to see them out there in the community. The community outreach is something that is very dear to me, so I was very happy to see that, to have them being engaged. I was also glad to be able to hear the commercials on the radio station from 102, so thank you for utilizing the urban channels to help reach our communities even better. So thank you.
Any other trustees? Trustee Venable Stallworth.
I have to ditto that. It is amazing when you have a health, wellness, and backpack drive, and your team, HCC, comes out in force. I want to thank I guess he's been tried by fire, so he's not new anymore. Donald Sparks came out as our communications director. We kind of dropped him in front of the table that said workforce. And he handled it like a champ. Nobody knew he wasn't workforce. So thank you for that. I want to thank the co-host Life Enhancement Services, because with them, we were able to get 1,000 attendees to come out to the event. And Chancellor, thank you for coming out. President Butch Harrod, thank you for coming out, because it's always good to have your leadership in the room. And I know Ramil Young came out to make sure we were behaving ourselves. We behaved ourselves. Baylor College of Medicine Teen Clinic, HCC Case Trio, our Senior 55 Plus program, our workforce, and Jones One Associates and Eternal Gems. These were the organizations that came out to make this a wonderful event. And I want to say thank you to Commissioner Ellis, because we were able to successfully complete his 44 murals and the UN 17 Sustainable Development Goals. We did a TED Talk on that, and I want to thank him for that, because I think that the Downtown Outdoor Art Museum, it is the largest one in the world so far. So it is a great outdoor museum, and it is now on TED Talk, on TED.com. So I want to thank Commissioner Ellis for allowing us to do that. And our enrollment is up. I know that the team out at South Campus and at Brays Oaks has done an amazing job. We had a CNA ribbon cutting, and we had a chance to see the new CNA classroom. And I want to thank Madeline Barillo Hopkins, because she made that happen before she left. So I know she's in Dallas College now at Brookhaven, so thank you, Dr. Barillo Hopkins. And I thank the team at Brays Oaks for continuing. It is an amazing event, and they've already made the classes. So thank you so much, HCC. You guys are amazing, and I guess I'll be worrying Donald Sparks a lot more now. Thank you.
Okay, in addition, I have to go back and say, give you the schedule of the meetings for September. September 4th is time to be determined. We will also have a special meeting on September 4th at 3:30 p.m. And September 4th will be the committee of the whole, as I stated. Okay. And it's been determined that they will start hopefully at 4 o'clock. And September 18th is our special meeting at 3:30, and our regular meeting will begin at 4 p.m. The meetings will be held at the HCC Administration Building, 3100 Main Street, and will be posted according to the open meetings requirement. We will now hear from the Chancellor with the Chancellor's report.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. I too would like to join in thanking Dr. Bagapour for the contribution to student scholarships. That always makes a significant difference in the lives of our students and their educational attainment and upward mobility. So once again, thank you so very much as well from the administration. I would like to say that July the 31st through August the 2nd, TAC convened its summer conference in Austin. The theme was Innovate to Elevate, Shaping the Future of Texas Community Colleges. The conference was heavily focused on the vital role that community colleges play in shaping the future of Texans in the workforce in artificial intelligence and other innovations. Information was shared by Dr. Ray Martinez, TAC resident, about the gains in dual credit outcomes, with more high school students earning 15 semester credit hours. Also, there has been an increase in partnerships between community colleges and local employers across the state. To build upon the success, TAC has requested the full amount of formula funding for fiscal year 2026 and fiscal year 2027 based upon the forecast of performance by colleges and continuing the adopted weights and rates. As you know from the memorandum that we sent to the board, the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board voted and approved Sarah Keaton to serve as the Coordinating Board's interim commissioner. That was effective August the 1st. On the same day, August 1st, Commissioner Keaton spoke to presidents and chancellors at the TAC Summer Conference and reassured the presidents and chancellors of her commitment to continue the work with community colleges pertaining to House Bill 8. On August the 16th, in response to the LBB and TAC, HCC submitted the legislative appropriations request for the 2026 through 27 biennium. The requests consisted of two components: the baseline request for funding and a request for exceptional items. The request included HCC's Baccalaureate of Applied Technology degrees as well. Next, I'd like to focus on the start of the new semester. It has been exciting. Monday, August 19th marked the official start date of the fall academic term, signaling the start of a new and exciting academic year. The energy and enthusiasm I have seen across the district is encouraging. Our faculty, staff, and our administrators have been working tirelessly to prepare for the start of the semester, and for that, I am truly grateful. We're all looking forward to a very successful year. Summer enrollment. HCC enrollment is almost complete for summer, with quarter 4 ongoing until August 31st. Overall, we see a 4.3% increase in semester hour credit, which houses most of our credentials of value, but a decline in non-credit enrollment, which we will be working on in that area as well. For the fall enrollment that is ongoing, as of today, HCC is currently up 11.5% overall. Semester credit hour is up 14%, and I would like to say congratulations to all. I want to encourage everyone to continue doing the great work. And of course, as we continue our enrollment activities, we are also progressing toward the retention and the completion of our students. You see here $2.8 million from the National Science Foundation to advance AI education and workforce development. That is really impressive. Congratulations to Dr. Webster, president of the Southwest College, and his team. The Houston Community College, in partnership with Miami-Dade College and Maricopa County Community College District, has been awarded the $2.8 million from the National Science Foundation's Advanced Technological Education Program to create the National Applied Artificial Intelligence Consortium. This is a groundbreaking initiative that aims to foster the growth of technical level artificial intelligence professionals across the nation. And I might add as well, as a result of the work that is being done, Houston Community College via the Southwest and the interim president, Dr. Webster, we're now known also as the National Center of Excellence in Cyber Security. Next, Harris County Sheriff's Office in partnership. On August the 12th, members of our team had the opportunity to meet with the Harris County Sheriff, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, and members of his team to discuss the expansion of inmate training at the Women's Empowerment Center. This expansion would include training in industrial maintenance, residential construction, nail technician, which has been requested, corrections officer training, and much more. Now, Now, there's so much more to share, but what we will do at this time is to pivot and And I would like to invite the 2024-25 United Student Council President, Jonah Garcia, to present the USC report.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, Madam Chancellor Ford Fisher, respective faculty and staff. My name is Jonah Garcia, and I will be serving as President of the United Student Council for the 2024-2025 academic year. I'm excited to meet all of you here today for the month of August and to share what my fellow officers and I did to kick off the academic year. Today, I will be speaking on the following items, such as the introduction of our new officers, the USC SGA meet and greet, and the USC SGA retreat. For my first order of business, I would like to introduce the United Student Council Executive Board member. Please stand up when I call your name. We have Deja Dowell, USC Secretary from ACC Southwest. Stephanie Alucho, USC Treasurer from ACC Northeast. Judith Jose, USC Parliamentarian from ACC Southwest. Beatrice Ola Shebekan, USC Historian from ACC Southwest. Angel A.K., USC Online Representative, ACC Southwest, who's unable to attend due to class. Astu Singh, USC Vice President from ACC Northeast. And lastly, myself, Jonah Garcia, USC President from ACC Southeast.
Thank you. Thank you.
For my next order of business, I would like to discuss our SGA and USC meet and greet on July 29th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The United Student Council and Student Government Association from across the ACC district attended the meet and greet event hosted by the Southeast Campus, where I'm also the president of SGA. All officers gathered to meet and engage in the event. The agenda consisted of 4 workshops, which included an icebreaker, ABC of ACC, shield activity with personal motto, and the SGA Constitution and Stipend Agreement review. We had more than 25 attendees, including the SGA advisors and representation from all campuses, including online. During the Constitution and Stipend Review workshop, the district took a vote in favor of Astu Singh, SGA President from Northeast, to fill the vacancy of the United Student Council Vice President for the academic year. Overall, we had a great time learning about our roles in the organization and connecting with new counterparts and friends from other campuses. For my last order of business, I would like to discuss the SGA and USC retreat on August 13th and 14th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The United Student Council and Student Government Association from across the district attended our 2-day retreat hosted at the district building. The first day of agenda consisted of unique workshops such as team building, student government contracts, student fee advisory committee, and college board activity. The chain of command of student leader etiquette, personality strength and finders, and more. The second day of the retreat consisted of 6 workshops, including SMART goals, public speaking, Robert Rules of Order, payment plan presentation, and SGA e-board meetings, and the mock General Assembly. In total, the 2-day event consisted of 14 workshops with more than 25 attendees, including the SGA advisors and student representation from all campuses, including online. Overall, we learned about ourselves, our peers, and we were equipped with skills to prepare our roles as campus student leaders. This will conclude the United Student Council report for August Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, and Madam Chancellor Ford Fisher, we thank you for your support and for inspiring us to be better leaders every day. Thank you, and I yield back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Garcia. Congratulations. Thank you. Now we will hear from Dr. Jajon Grigsby, our outgoing Faculty Senate President, and Dr. Nicole Butte-Haluma, our incoming Faculty Senate President. Dr. Grigsby. And Dr. Haluma.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Chancellor, trustees, esteemed faculty and staff, and all community guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your kind indulgence today, as I am here to help welcome the new 2024-25 President of the Faculty Senate. As I mentioned in June, this position of Faculty Senate President is quite special, and I have been honored to be in the room on behalf of the full Faculty Association and Senate. But today brings a new dawn, a new season with promise to do new and good work. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Nicole Butte-Haluma as the new Faculty Senate President for continued good work in this special place. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I don't really have much to say except for say I am proud to be here. My road to ACC started when my mother was 16 years old and she had me. She finished night school, she came to HCC, and kept her on her feet. I am now a third-generation PhD because of her, because of this, because of y'all. I started in HCC in 2009 as an adjunct in the Northeast system. I became hired as full-time in 2014, became program coordinator, department chair, worked on various committees, and all the while I knew the reason why I came here was because HCC allows us to know that we matter. We matter as faculty, we matter as staff, we matter as students, we matter as admin, we matter. And so this year my goal is to make sure that we continue to know that we matter. It is to work with y'all hand in hand, to work with everyone in this room, to ensure the goals of the administration and the faculty are met this year, so that student success is at the forefront and HCC shines. So thank you for your time. I look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Grigsby. You have done a magnificent job in representing the faculty. We, of course, will keep you engaged in the work that we do institutionally. And welcome to you, Dr. Butte-Haluma. We look forward to working with you. We know your record of success as well, and we know that you will bring great value to the discussions at the Chancellor's Executive Council in representing faculty as well. So thank you both very much. Now, at this time, I would like to invite Mr. Aaron Henry to the podium to present the Staff Senate report. Mr. Henry.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Madam Chancellor, and our Board of Trustees, our faculty, our staff, our students, and our community. We are at the start of a new academic year. Our Staff Senate suspended our meetings in the month of August so that we could focus wholly on enrollment support at each of our colleges. I want to begin by publicly saying that we offer our condolences to Mr. Bruce Alston, who served this institution. We also would like to publicly acknowledge our dear Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, as well as Mr. Felix Fraga. Our prayers are with their families at this time. Kudos to our staff for a job well done. As mentioned here already, our enrollment is up, and we are excited to support the college through our various roles as we ultimately support our student success. Our faculty colleagues have an obvious role in the lives of our students, and the staff has a unique role, a blended role. Supporting the college and our staff as the president in leading collaboration and fostering a spirit of inclusion has been the joy of my life. And we are excited about a new year, a new opportunity to engage in collaboration. Staff should play and must play a meaningful role in the advancement of our institution. I want to say kudos to our enrollment staff at our various colleges for their awesome work over the last 2 weeks. Trustees, notwithstanding the work that has been done during the week, Monday through Friday, but these staff members have supported weekend initiatives that have increased our enrollment at this institution through enrollment and registration fairs, ensuring that our students and community are able to enter HCC at ease. We're ready to work here at this college. The Staff Senate has accomplished a lot in this previous year, but we must do more. We are ready to move forward and upward. Our students desperately need our support, and we are here to meet those needs. Trustees, we are here. Lastly, I would like to thank Trustee Wilson, who represented you all well at our staff conference in June. The staff are yet talking about his remarks and his charge given to the staff. Trustee Wilson's commitment and connection he made to staff, not just in his opening remarks, but through his greetings. He ensured that he met and greeted every staff member and shook their hands in the room. It's such a great connection that makes the difference with staff when they oftentimes feel insignificant. Dr. Ford Fisher, as we enter into a new year, you recognized as our chancellor, the staff stands ready to collaborate and work with you and your leadership team on the things that will make HCC to be the best institution in the world. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Henry. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, we'd like to congratulate you for being named the 2024-25 Senate President for a consecutive year. Thank you so very, very much, and congratulations. Now, at this time, I would like to invite Dr. Omar Perez to the podium to highlight our credentials of value. Dr. Perez.
Thank you, Chancellor. Good afternoon, Board of Trustees, Madam Chair. As always, we want to keep in mind why we're here, and it is all about the success of our students. So this afternoon, I want to talk about one of our graduates. A lifelong dream became a reality for Sienna Nation. She is our Credential of Value student for the month of August. She is a registered nurse. She credits her success to Houston Community College, who helped her through the hard times and made it affordable for her to get her education. Her desire to become a nurse started when she was just a child, wanting to help her great-grandma when she was sick. Now she is helping others in the way she wanted to help her great-grandma, but couldn't as a child. She feels that HCC helped her achieve her dream of helping others by providing both encouragement and financial support. Here is her story.
I chose to become a nurse because my great-grandmother on my mom's side, I always wanted to take care of her when I was a little girl, but she passed before I could do so. So now I pride myself in taking care of other people's families. I chose HCC because I've honestly been going here for a long time. I took my prereqs here through the HCC system, and it was close commute to home, and it was very affordable. That's the main thing, the affordability. The program was rigorous, if I'm being honest. It was hard, but what nursing program really isn't? I think it prepared me for the real world. And shout out to Dr. Pollard. She was one of my main teachers through the entire program. And Mrs. King, Dr. King, who was my counselor. They really helped me get through the program. Like, if it wasn't for them, I would not be here today. So I appreciate it. After I graduated from HCC, I actually started my new BSN program for Bachelor's of Science of Nursing at U of H downtown, where I have a full ride scholarship, you could say, provided by Capital Idea. Also, and then I started working at Clear Lake HCA Hospital in the emergency department. So everything kind of just flowed together. It just all merged perfectly in my life. I started school in January 2024 for my bachelor's, and then February is when I started working as an RN. And just to mention, because this is important, I passed my NCLEX on the first try. So shout out to my teachers for educating me properly. My long-term goals include I want to be a CRNA. But I also am going back and forth with wanting to like do wound care, like be a wound care nurse and just get more certifications in that. But ultimately, I would love to be a CRNA and just kind of put people to sleep, you know, and have the doctors operate out there. I'm able to provide a better life for my children. I think that's the most important thing for me. They got to see me go through school and get through school, attend my graduation. They saw the struggles and that I fought through to, you know, have my dream come true of being a nurse. And if it wasn't for HCC, I would not have been able to do so. I'm really thankful. Knowing that I get to take care of other people's great-grandmas, grandmas, grandpas, even their kids, like, it's a fulfilling thing for me. I'm literally living my purpose, I feel. And I know I'm making my great-grandma proud because I couldn't take care of her, but at least I'm taking care of other people, you know. So she's up there smiling somewhere.
I'm going to, if the student is here, Sienna, could you please stand?
Thank you very much, Dr. Perez, and with Sienna. Would you mind coming to the front, please, if you don't mind? And you can stand in front of the dais, and we will stand up here if you don't mind, because I think this is a moment to capture your great success with the members of our Board of Trustees as well. So please, if you could stand in the front. And if our trustees would mind standing, we'll capture this photo that Sienna can proudly hang in her office. Thank you so very, very much, Dr. Perez. Starting in September, the presidents will begin presenting the Credentials of Value success stories from their colleges. But finally, what I want to do is to congratulate also Dr. Lutricia Harrison, interim president of HCC Coleman College, and her excellent team for their great work to establish HCC Coleman College of Health Sciences at Midtown. Great job with over 430 students already enrolled here, evenings and weekends at this location, already enrolled. So I would like to ask Dr. Harrison and the members of our team who are still here to please stand and be recognized. Great work. Thank you all so very, very much. And I'd like to thank the board also for this great opportunity that you've given to us to share highlights. Madam Chair, this now concludes my report.
Thank you, Chancellor. Okay, Trustee Wilson.
Yes, I'd like to thank Mr. Hendry for the kind words. It was my pleasure, and I enjoyed attending the staff conference. And what I said about how important the staff is to this organization, about it makes us, it's a part that makes us a whole. Without the staff and the logistics of that, we wouldn't be able to teach, we wouldn't be able to administer, and we're all part of a team, and sometimes we overlook the staff and what they do to make this organization a success. And I thank you for the opportunity and inviting me there, and I appreciate you all and your work. Thank you.
I would like to say to Dr. Harris and her team, thank you guys for taking on the charge that the Chancellor gave you guys to make Coleman Midtown happen. You guys, I stated earlier, received the charge in June, and if you have not toured Coleman Midtown, you really need to. It's so impressive. It will make you emotional. It's amazing what they've done in such a short period of time. And to have enrollment of 450 students
is outstanding. So I want to say to you and your team, job well done. Any other comments? No? Okay. A citizen desiring to appear before the Board of Trustees shall complete the application for hearing 24 hours prior to the meeting and file said application with the Board Services Office. There are no citizens signed up to speak before the board today. We are now ready to consider the consent agenda. Please note that item 2, which is the acceptance of donated items by Mace Virtual Lab, has been pulled by the administration and will be considered at a later date. Trustees, are there any other items you would like pulled from the consent agenda? No? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
It has been moved and second. We are now ready to vote on the consent agenda.
Aye. Received, Trustee Davies.
Diana Termes.
Received.
Thank you.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed unanimously with a vote of 9-0.
Please note that item B, which is safety and security locking doors hardware retrofit, and item D, sign language interpretation services and communications access, real-time translation services, and item E has also been pulled from the agenda. Is there a motion to approve item A, security guard services, project number RFP 24-28?
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
It has been moved and second. Dr. Ford Fisher will introduce the item.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. This item for security guard services is presented to authorize the Chancellor to execute a contract with Citywide Protection Unit to provide security guard services, as was indicated. With your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Mr. Atkin to the podium to give a high overview and to answer all questions. And I would also like to, at the same time, introduce our new Executive Director of Procurement, Dr. Von Bedenfield. Dr. Bedenfield, please stand and be recognized, and you may come to the podium as well. Thank you very much. Please.
Thank you. It's good to be with you this evening. For your proposal, we request to enter into a contract with Citywide Protection Unit to provide security services here at 3100 and across the street at the parking facility at 3200. This contract, this solicitation was executed using an RFP. They were the highest rated vendor, and the estimated cost will be no more than $500,000 annually to provide that service. This is particularly important for us now that we are offering courses to our students here in this facility on night and weekends. So we'll have far more people in the building during the times when we will need security service oversight.
Are there any questions, trustees?
Madam Chair. Is there a reason we're not using HPD or HCC police for these services?
So the reason that we're not using police for these services is to free up our officers to provide greater security and greater services at the other locations across the district. This is a less expensive option for us in order to provide the security needed in this facility.
That was my next question. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No questions? Is there a motion to approve item A?
Madam Chair, we have a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. We will now vote? Are you finished? You finished?
Yes, I'm finished.
Okay.
Trustee Davis, was that a yes?
Yes, show me voting aye. Thank you.
Dr.
That's
Tanett?
yes for me. Sharon?
Received.
Thank you.
The motion passed unanimously with a vote of 9-0.
Is there a motion to approve item C, higher education non-credit continuing education registration software, project number RFP?
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Adriana, your mic is on.
Project number RFP 24-37.
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
It has been moved in second. Dr. Ford Fisher will introduce the item.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. This item is presented to authorize the Chancellor to execute a contract with Genius SIS LLC to provide a higher education non-credit continuing education registration software solution in support of the continuing education department and in accordance with RFP 24-37. With your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Mr. Akin and Dr. Bedenfeld to provide a high-level overview and to answer all questions.
Questions, trustees? Okay, there are no questions.
I have a question.
Trustee Venable Stalwart?
Well, it says, oh, your phone.
Excuse me. That means
It says in performing the work under the RFP 2437, the recommended firm will be working from its Minnesota office. So will we ever need them here?
Pardon me, Madam Trustee?
In performing the work under the RFP 2437, the recommended firm will be working from its Minnesota office. Will we ever need them here in the building?
We don't anticipate needing them here in the building to perform the work or to provide the software service that we'll be utilizing. If necessary, they would make the trip to HCC to address any issues.
And that's going to be an additional cost?
If we need to have them come here, yes, most likely that would be an additional cost to cover travel.
And have they done this work for us before? Do we have a continuing education registration software?
I would defer to
Dr. Webster.
Dr. Webster.
Dr. Webster, please come forward.
We do not currently have a software that helps us register students. This package is fairly well known in the industry. It's kind of the Amazon for CE registration, so it's a well-needed package for us.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, I would like to also support the comment by Dr. Webster, and that is one of the reasons why, in fact, our enrollment in the non-credit and continuing education area is so very low. Previously, we had a company, a third-party provider for continuing education, and now we recognize that that was not the best solution for us. And so this is going to help us to be able to increase our continuing education and non-credit enrollments as well, which of course can lead to the credentials of value. We did work with the IT area to determine whether or not there was another software that would be a duplicate of what we're asking for, and we were told that there is not. And obviously, that's understandable given the fact that we really were working with a third-party solution previously.
Trustee Keating?
Yeah, I've got two questions. So we've got a number of software implementations that are currently on the books, more coming. Do y'all feel like we have the staff, both in the IT department and in the broader population, to support all of these implementations without us, adding additional cost or time and materials to get these done properly and without overburdening folks in the process?
We do believe that we do, based upon the fact that we have now deployed all of the continuing education staff to the colleges and to the presidents. And so the presidents are now getting the vice presidents of instruction as well, who can help spearhead and coordinate all of the work that will be done in the area of academics, workforce, and continuing education.
All right. Second question is, and we've got a large software implementation opportunity in the future, and curious if this software points us into a specific direction or locks us into specific options in terms of interconnectivity with ERPs, CRMs, those sorts of things. So.
I would like to respond to that as well. And of course, Dr. Webster, if you choose to come forward, that is fine to respond. But we did check to make sure that this would be integrated with our PeopleSoft system as well. So any additional comments?
Yeah, and the beauty of this one is that it's geared towards the stackable credentials that we offer. So once we administer it and the student registers for a class, they finish that class, we can push out and immediately register for the next class connected with it.
I guess follow-up question. You mentioned that we've got good integration with PeopleSoft, but does this lock us into PeopleSoft? Do we still have the flexibility to consider other alternatives if our PeopleSoft implementation is, if we reconsider in the next couple of years?
We also looked into that with IT, and it would not lock us in. Right.
Correct. All right. Thank you.
Questions or comments? Okay, we will now vote on item C.
Yes.
Received. Voting has concluded. The motion passed unanimously with a vote of 9-0.
Is there a motion to approve item F, sole source contract awards for fiscal year 2025?
So moved.
Second. It has been moved and second. Dr. Ford Fisher will introduce the item.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. This item is presented to authorize the Chancellor to negotiate and execute sole source exemption agreements with various suppliers for items and services that are listed on the document included in the board agenda book and that are approved in the fiscal year 2025 budget. So with your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Mr. Atkin and Dr. Benfeld to present the item. Provide an overview and then answer all questions, please.
Yeah, so once a year, as we prepare for the new fiscal year, we bring these items forward in mass for approval. If you would allow me to, I'd like to go through each of these so that you have a brief overview of what we're asking for. Career America Ocelot, this is a chatbot service that we use in financial aid so that we can provide better information and respond more timely to our students, particularly when our employees are not available to take those calls. On average, we see about 1,000 students per month utilize the chatbot, in addition to about 1,000 students who review and watch the videos that are available through the Ocelot service. Innovative Interfaces is the software that we use to manage our library services. So this is utilized across all the districts and all of our libraries to help manage students' access to library resources, particularly those that are digital. The Ad Astra Platinum Analytics is the system that we use for scheduling and predictive analytics regarding our students' behavior while they're on class. This is used heavily and is critical to our operation in terms of tracking student activity, managing which courses are available, when to close courses for low enrollment, so on and so forth. Kaltura software is an educational software that's used to provide training videos and other formats for faculty to engage with students. This is, again, another district-wide software system that is utilized by many, many disciplines all across all colleges. The Texas Medical Center is the obligation that we have because of our Coleman College. This is our shared portion of the common area maintenance that the Texas Center provides. And under Student Services Placement Testing, This is our cost to provide testing services to our students with regard to those items listed on the report. We have to buy these tests from this entity. We really don't have any other option to get these from any other location or any other vendor. With that, I would answer any questions you might have.
I have well, I just see that 1, 2, 3 of them are going to take the place of the human touch, and so I'm always concerned that we lose some because either they don't know how to get into them, and so I'd still like to make sure that we have that human touch available for our students and our people.
If I could respond to that, this helps us to ensure that we remain connected with our students. It certainly doesn't replace the efforts that we're making to reach out and connect with our students. As you look at the efforts we've made just for fall semester in terms of the care calls that we make, tracking the students, repeated direct connections with members of the team, we are elevating our efforts to provide that personal touch to our students. We are not diminishing or reducing that because of these tools. This simply helps us to fill the gap in terms of connecting and managing student interactions when we're not available to meet or respond to their inquiries.
Trustee Cheatham.
Just curious, do these costs line up with your budget estimates? And if not, any surprises, high or low?
These costs are all in line with our budget that was proposed and approved in June. So none of these are new or additional items for this year.
I've expressed this in previous times before, but when we spend this money, how do you evaluate it and look at it and see that it has value and we're getting our money's worth? It's subjective, objective. It's not an easy put your finger on type thing, and it's a leap of faith believing that these work. And then I always have in the back of my mind wondering if these did any good and the money we spent for it was worth it. So is there any metric or any way to evaluate whether these are successful or not?
So we keep detailed metrics on the use of these systems. For example, the Ocelot that I was mentioning earlier, we have a monthly report that shows every single time students are logging into the website and utilizing these services. And so we're tracking the utilization. We're trying to ensure that the value that we receive from these services exceeds the opportunity cost for possibly selecting some other solution to replace these. These are all services that we've been using for many years. These are proven services that add tremendous value to the institution.
As a follow-up question, we just spoke with a lot of the people from Coleman College and the tables that were set up, and just about every table I talked to, those programs are full, and they need more dental chairs, and they need more space for radiology, and the physical therapy people need more space. So just in addition to, is it worth that, is there some value in these? My next question is, can we spend our money better and more wisely by providing more facilities for our health care?
Chancellor.
Thank you very much for that question, Trustee Wilson, because that's one of the things that we're going to begin looking at as we start looking at a master plan, our master planning for how we move forward and what we need institutionally throughout our district with respect to the emerging occupations and our programs that we have and how we're expanding upon them. Rightly, as you said, with the new baccalaureate degree as well, and with the plans that have been shared with me from the Coleman College of Health Sciences regarding the way they are planning to expand all of our services and the accreditations as well. This is a conversation that we begin, I think it's next week, with members of the CEC, and then we're going to broaden that throughout the district so that we can bring you back recommendations on what we are proposing as we look at the facilities that we have and how we might retrofit, renovate in order to meet the emerging occupations or new facilities that would need to be constructed. Because we're looking at a number of fields. One of them, obviously, is with the cybersecurity, the robotics, the artificial intelligence. We're looking at the aerospace. We're looking at the drone programs as well. What is it that we need in all of those areas? You start looking at the EV with those electric vehicles. You start looking at the autonomous vehicles as well. We're looking at all of that to see what it is that we need now in order to further serve our population so that they will have the talent that is needed in order to meet the needs of the industries. So we will be bringing that back to you.
Any other questions or comments? If not, thank you. We will now vote on item F.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed with a vote of 7 in favor, 1 opposed.
Is there a motion to approve item G, full-time faculty academic year contract renewals?
So move.
There a second? It has been moved in second. Dr. Ford Fisher will introduce this item.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, members of the board. This item presents additional full-time faculty academic year contract renewals. With your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Dr. Anderson, Vice Chancellor of Talent Engagement, to the podium to answer questions.
Hi there. Good day, Madam Chair,
welcome.
trustees, Chancellor. This item is for non-renewals. You will notice that it's a shorter list because you received the 800 plus back in June, but these faculty members were either out of the country or unable to submit that, and so that's why you see that shorter list.
Are there any questions? No questions? Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, we will now vote on item G.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed with a vote of 8-0.
Is there a motion to approve item H, personnel agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved in second. Dr. Ford Fisher will introduce the item.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. This item presents the faculty personnel agenda for August 2024 for your approval. With your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Dr. Anderson to the podium to answer questions. Dr. Anderson.
This list is also for faculty. However, these faculty are new faculty members that are joining us for fall 2024, and so we have about 26 of them. They have started already with us, obviously. We started them onboarding as early as August 1st, and so they are out there doing some great work, and we're hoping to get your approval on issuing a contract.
Are there any questions, trustees? Okay, we will now vote.
I don't have a question, but I just want to, when you go to the appendix, I just want to thank those that have given us their service at HCC and moved on. So I just want to thank them as well. Thank you.
Trustee. Thank you, trustee. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. We will now vote on item H.
Voting has concluded. The motion passed with a vote of 8-0.
We will move to item I, report on opportunity to rename Houston Community College. This is a report item. No action is required. Dr. Ford Fisher will introduce the item.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is an exciting item as well. This item is presented to the board as a report item to discuss the rationale associated with a review of the HCC name given the authorized approval by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools to HCC to award baccalaureate degrees. This report will be provided by Dr. Ramel Young, Vice Chancellor of Communications and Interim Chief of Staff. With your permission, Madam Chair, I invite Dr. Young to the podium to present the item.
Thank you, Dr. Ford Fisher. Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Ford Fisher, thank you for the opportunity to provide a report item for you today, the report item relating to the proposed renaming of Houston Community College. The board will likely recall back in June, the accrediting agency for HCC approved the status of level 1 to level 2, and so HCC is now able to provide baccalaureate degrees under that level 2 status. Acknowledging that level 2 status change, we believe, warrants some careful thought and consideration about how we move forward now that we can offer baccalaureate degrees. The question presented is whether or not a name change would enhance our opportunity to attract students, differentiate ourselves in the marketplace, recognizing that others are likewise competing for students in our region. Employers are looking at the types of degrees that our students are receiving, and the value that they provide is something that is being assessed. The board will also be aware that, or should be aware that community colleges are in record numbers that, based on our research, changing their names. In our region, there are 9 community colleges. The Gulf Coast region community colleges, all of those community colleges have effectively changed their name. I don't think there's one that has community located in the name of the college themselves. And so in light of those circumstances, the opportunity here is to determine whether it's prudent to at least assess the opportunity of changing the name of HCC to something else. Wanted to provide just a few items for you to look at with regard to Lone Star. You'll note that Lone Star changed its name several years ago. South Texas College, and this is Florida community colleges outside of our region, but nonetheless, they too changed their name. Dallas College went from Dallas College Community College District to Dallas College, signaling that they too needed to be more competitive. They too offer baccalaureate degrees. Lone Star offers baccalaureate degrees. And so we bring before you an opportunity that allows us to conduct a transparent and open process that gathers input from internal and external parties, that allows us to assess whether or not it is prudent to advance the name and bring names back, present the findings and conclusions with the intent of informing the decision-making process surrounding that name change, and deliver those the findings back to the governing board. We have a timeline associated with how we might move forward with that. I'm sure you've had the opportunity to look at that. If not, we're happy to walk through it with you. But we've convened a task force initially to talk about this particular item. That task force then put together this timeline in consultation with several people. But we wanted you to have an opportunity to take a look at this and just let you know that we'd like to be able to take this initiative forward and bring it back to the board on November the 20th.
Chancellor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Young. I think this is really critically important, and it's important for a variety of reasons. Number one, as we look at the strategic plan of the board and the priorities that have been set, as we start looking at the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board and their strategic plan as well to build a talent-strong Texas, They are looking for individuals who can get good jobs and meaningful careers. As we look at empowering students, equipping our workforce, stakeholder collaborations, what we are hearing from the advisory committees is this. We're hearing that they obviously need the technical workers, the workers with the technical skills, but they also need individuals who will be able to move into the higher level administration types of jobs and the leadership roles. And so that is what they're looking to. However, with the community colleges, since 1970, and all of the students that we have served who have received associate degrees, the applied associate degrees, when you look at the universities, very few of them offer the applied baccalaureate degrees. Industry is calling for that. That is one of the reasons why community colleges now are beginning to offer the applied baccalaureate degrees so that they can have a talent pool to draw from and would also be able to provide that upward mobility for those technicians who are valuable to them and who are working in various jobs with their industries. When you think through about all of the students who've come through the doors of Houston Community College with our associate's degrees, this opens up the opportunity for vast improvement with educational attainment for them. But in addition to that, it is really very clear that for the community colleges, our costs are so much lower than the costs for students who are going to universities. And so we would be offering a university or a college level credential at a community college price. Given the fact that we are having so many other institutions to come into our area, I think as we start looking at our shared values, as we start looking at the strategic priorities set by the board to enhance academic and workforce educational pathways, this would certainly help to create that pathway for more of our students who are coming to us. The personalized learning experience as well, the community investment, given that we have 26 Fortune 500 companies, we're looking at the emerging occupations that we have to prepare the workforce for. This certainly provides that opportunity for us to upskill the workforce with all of the students who are coming through our doors here at Houston Community College, and then we become the college of choice, primarily because of the value that we offer and the cost at which we offer it to our community. And so those are some of the reasons also that we want to explore this, to set up a task force, to get the input, and then to bring that back to the board for your consideration.
Are there any questions?
I have one. I just want to make a comment. I am in support of the name change, and I do understand the need for it. I just wanted us to be mindful that back in 2016, the University of Houston sued the South Texas College of Law after they changed their name to the Houston College of Law. So I just want y'all to be mindful as you consider name changes, you know, how it could impact, because I would not want us to get into a lawsuit or trademark of which they lost. U of H won, but the South Texas College of Law lost and had to change their name back.
Recall that.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I don't know what to think about a name change. We serve a purpose in Houston as a community college, and it's for 2-year associate's degrees. It's for certifications. It's for those seeking us as a pathway to then go on to our neighboring schools that are 4-year accredited colleges. They serve that purpose. And so I have mixed feelings about becoming a 4-year university when Houston has those, and that we serve a purpose in Houston as the community college. And so I'm a little, I don't know, I'm not sure what to think or what to feel about what I just heard.
Madam Chair, I am also very concerned about this. When we decided to apply to 4-year degrees, we were very, very intentional that we were looking at 2-degree programs. We did not want to compete with the University of Houston. Those relationships with those schools are very important. We did not want to compete with the University of Houston downtown. This seems like a lot of energy that could be focused on student achievement, and an ultimate name change is going to be a substantial outlay of money. We just changed all of our signs. We're going to have to do all our logos, all our stationery, everything. And nothing that we talked about, nothing that you spoke about can't be done with the name being the way it is. I mean, I don't know where this is coming from. And it's just, it's really, I mean, this is we were very intentional. We did not want to become a four-year university, four-year college. We wanted to provide these 2 degrees, and this was it. That's why kind of the pushing in the media of we can now offer baccalaureates is great because of these 2-degree programs, but I don't want our partner institutions that we rely on very much to feed our students into to be intimidated at all by this competition in this marketplace.
May I respond? Yeah. I would just like to say, I hear what you're saying. However, when the action was approved for the 2 baccalaureate degrees and the staff moved forward with it, then it was approved by SACS. The only thing that we can do at this particular point, because the level has changed from a level 1 to a level 2, we have 2 baccalaureate degrees. It is automatic now that we have to respond at a level 2 with respect to the evaluation of the institution. It's no longer community college. It is at the 4-year level. Now, in terms of limiting the number of additional baccalaureate degrees, the board can fully say this is it. But at this particular point, there is no putting that back into a safe space to say we're going to just be a community college. Now, I think one of the additional features is that we have to think about, since we now are here, we have this that has been approved by SACS, whether or not the workforce will then hire our students who are going through these 2 programs coming from a community college. The competition will be that there will be other schools that are offering AI, baccalaureate, robotics, healthcare management coming from a university. So where will the weights be there in terms of their preference? I think that perhaps the discussion should have been much more robust about what this would mean. I served on the AACC Board of Trustees, and one of the things that was clear at that time was that the board did not want community colleges to start moving in that direction. But the colleges did because they were listening to the industry partners. So I think that this is something that I think, what do we do now about our programs that are baccalaureate degree programs? But what we see is that more and more of the universities are beginning to offer the vocational technical programs. In fact, there was an article about Sam Houston State University now that are reopening their vocational technical center so they can offer credentials of value. I think that this is something that obviously you will give us direction on what you want us to do, but HCC will now be visited by SACS, looking at the baccalaureate degree standards, the criteria that are set, because we've already been approved for these programs.
Trustee Cheatham.
Follow-up question on that and then a couple of more. Is there any SACS accreditation requirement that we revisit our name, or is that just an interpretation based on our new status?
There's no requirement.
There is no requirement that we change our name. I think the question would be, since we have these programs and we have students who are in the pipeline, how competitive will they be as they seek employment with companies? That's the question.
And so one of my follow-on comments relates to that. We had a really robust discussion a couple of weeks ago about our opportunity to improve outcomes at this institution. The future looks amazing. The sky is the limit. From my perspective, employers will respond more to us following through and delivering on that promise of, by the end of the decade, realizing in the neighborhood of 28,000 awards and transfers per year versus a name change. My concern with this is getting to that very bright future is going to be an incredible task in and of itself. To me, the name change feels like a distraction from what is already going to be an incredibly heavy lift. Around the time that we approved the budget, we talked about the incredibly short fuse that we had to build on our just getting out of hold harmless funding from the state. I just worry with the short fuse and frankly the incredibly aggressive timeline that's been rolled out in these materials that it will detract from our ability to hit a 1,500 or 2,000 improvement in transfers or awards at the end of the summer semester next year, and it could compromise our ability to build on that to the 28,000-ish by the end of the decade. I just, from an employment standpoint, folks open their eyes when I share the amazing progress that's been made in our AI program about, winning global and national awards in AI and Intel competitions. When I talk to them about the amazing use cases that our students are maturing and developing, that's what really grabs people's attention. I don't think the name change is going to do it. We have a national name around AI and cybersecurity. Rebuilding that under a new name is going to be tough. And I agree with Trustee Reichardt's point about the funding that's going to be required from a marketing standpoint to try to minimize the confusion in the community that could impact our enrollment in the short term and would compromise or mitigate our ability to drive to those end of the decade outcomes. Me personally, I don't see the urgency. I don't see the rush. I'd rather focus on the here and now. And if we start to see an issue with our enrollment and our outcomes, then maybe we revisit this in a year or so once we have some good enrollment data out of these baccalaureate programs.
We will obviously respond to the will of the board. The only thing is that we have a number of students now who are going through the pipeline in healthcare management. We are seeing increasing numbers of students who are in our associate's degree program now. We know that there are neighboring institutions that have now applied for the permission to offer the programs. There are already, for example, some of our neighboring community colleges that we also recognize have great value. But if we are offering the same programs, theirs is from the institution that is not designated necessarily, and there's nothing wrong with being in that tier. But if we are supposed to be offering baccalaureate degrees and we're competing with others who are noted as the Lone Star College or the San Jacinto College, and we lose our students to those institutions or to the University of Houston downtown, that means that it diminishes our pool conceivably, and those students might go to where they can get that kind of notoriety as having gotten their credentials from a university. This is something, obviously, that I understand what you're saying, but that then takes us back to where we were previously when this was discussed, and the board not recognizing what this would mean in terms of moving to a different level of review by the Southern Association. So obviously, if we don't have students who are going to enroll in these programs, the coordinating board will just close us, and SACS will also close us.
Madam Chair? But Madam Chancellor, the SACS approved the courses that we submitted for. Those are the courses that we need to then report on at this new level. Not, because I'd love to go back and read all of what they approved, because it's not that they're saying, okay, now you're a four-year college. They're saying, you're a community college. You've asked us to approve you adding these two courses as four-year degree. We're approving that. They're going to grade us on that, Madam Chancellor. They're not going to expect us to become a four-year college. It's just not going to happen.
No, the only thing that I'm saying about that is as you start looking at the junior and senior year levels, they're going to be looking at the numbers, the coordinating board as well as SACS. How many students do you have in this program? How many students are completing the program? How many students are now being employed within that program? And that's where we could conceivably start losing that competitive advantage. So that's, yes.
Madam Chair, Madam Chancellor, you're saying the addition of the word community is what's going to stop enrollment. By not changing the name, we're going to have all these problems by students not wanting to enroll because employers won't want to hire somebody with a degree that says community college as opposed to just college.
I don't think it's just the community. I think it's given the national momentum now and the need to have employees who are working in these emerging fields related to artificial intelligence, then I think that is where the perception will make a difference in terms of the standing of the institution as well as the name or the brand of the institution, whether it's a community college or.
Because the only thing that'll be changing is removing the name community, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, right. That's right. And there have been different discussions about that and how to move forward. But what we would respectfully request, and I understand exactly what you're saying, is if we could do the investigation, provide the answers to the questions, and then bring that back to you, and you can very well say, no, we're not interested, that's it. But I think that as we start looking at the state of Texas, for example, and what they're requiring also, and the approvals that are being given now to more and more institutions to offer these four-year degrees, in particular in the areas, two areas that we're looking at, that becomes somewhat problematic. The next thing I would say is this. We have the National Center of Excellence in Cybersecurity. Our team members have done a phenomenal job. We are the national center, but yet there is an interest to have us brought in under the umbrella of another institution, despite all of the hard work, the standing that HCC now has in that area. So, we are looking out for the best interest of our students and our communities. We're bringing them in. We want to make sure that they are competitive as they then go out, they go through our programs and then go out and get employment. And so if we could just simply do the review and bring it back, and your response is no, we don't want to entertain this, I think that would be giving us a fair opportunity to at least provide you with the detailed information about what is available and what might not work for HCC in our community.
Madam Chair.
I'd really like to know with the, where is it, the task force, let's see, the transparent and open process that gathers input from internal and external stakeholders. I'd like to see that step implemented. And I'll tell you why. When I got on this board, District 9 was a pariah. There were 125 students at South Campus every semester, and that was it. There were hardly any students at Brays Oaks, and that was it. I'd like to know, using that first step, what the perception of the public is about Houston Community College, and I'm sure that's one of the questions that is in that will be part of that. I watched City College of LA and a couple of the other colleges. Lone Star was North Harris County College, and St. Jack was something else. I watched those changes carefully, and their enrollment did increase. And there's something about the perception of a name. So my request is, I'd like to see that first step implemented, because what it'll let me know is how are we really perceived. We think we know, and we can sit here as a board and state what we think we know. But I absolutely went through what the perception was in District 9, and it was not good. And so we had to work really hard as a community, and organizations in my community had to come to the table to work with me to change that perception at South Campus and at Brays Oaks. And we're still working to improve that perception. So I want to know what does the public think of us now? If we can't do anything else, I think that first step would give us a lot of leverage and understanding about how the public perceives us. And then if we need to go further about a name change, and I can tell you, Dallas College looks really, really good right now. It's explosive. I do not know what that means when you take out the word community and you just leave college, but they are benefiting dramatically from a change. I want to know what the public perceives of us. Both our internal stakeholders, our external stakeholders, our industry partners. And I don't think we're going to end with 2 applied baccalaureate degrees, because the industries keep changing. And there are certain things that 4-year institutions are absolutely not going to do. They're simply not going to do it. And we are going to be charged with getting those applied baccalaureate degrees done. So as we move through the next 5 years, or even for our governor who says by the year 2030, 60% of Texans need to have our certificate or credential of value or a degree, we will be carrying that burden as colleges. Not the universities are going to pretty much stay the course. They're going to expect us to do it. So I want to see that first step implemented. I want to know what the public really thinks of us. And I think this is a great opportunity to find out. And if we need to go further to say, are you interested in us having a name change? If the overwhelming response is yes, then we need to have that discussion before we make a decision about whether or not we want to go that route.
Well, Stalwart, I agree that first step is significant in making this decision. And, because one thing I'm thinking about is what is going to be the value of that student's degree if it comes from a community college. We have to be realistic. Companies, when they look at candidates to hire, they look at where that degree came from. And that's realistic. They look at where it came from. Now, I think the good thing is that we still offer the community what they need, but we're giving it to them at a lower price. But when they get out into the workforce or attempt to get out into the workforce after graduation, we want to know that that degree they received here is worth something, it's valued. And that's just my personal opinion. I respect everyone's opinion here, but that's my personal opinion.
Madam Chair.
Trustee Laredo.
I just want to say thank you for the report. Thank you for opening our eyes. And I look forward to you bringing us more information at the November meeting. So.
Thank you.
If I may, I did want to add, I feel like I live at Houston Methodist Hospital. My dad now is there. So I spent in the last year so much time there, and I continue to. And I feel so much pride when nurses or staff members that work there come up to me and say, when I'm wearing my shirts or what have you, I attended Houston Community College. So I've never heard anyone shy away from it or be embarrassed about it. This is the first time I'm hearing my colleagues talk about, or the chancellor talk about, people being embarrassed or employers shying away from hiring people. On the contrary, I think that we should hold our head up high, and that we have an excellent reputation, especially in the last few years when so much transformation has happened. And then moving on to the piece about I just need to internalize this. I'm not saying, I just need to internalize all this, because I'm taken aback about why we're even talking about this when we have a whole lot of work to do that we've charged the chancellor with that she needs to focus on, whether it's the, recruitment, enrollment, persistence. You got a lot of work there. And so I want her focused on that. And this is what shies us away from that, in my opinion. There's a whole lot there that we've charged you with, and that, before you came on board, with all due respect, Chancellor, according to my colleagues, the sky was falling here at HCC. There was all this turmoil and oh my God, that we went on and changed administration, which is fine. It's good. I love you. But okay, let's stay the course. Let's support our chancellor in doing all the things that we said needed to be corrected, and not be distracted by things like this. I think that takes you away from where that focus needs to be. And so, that's just my thoughts again. And I'm just thinking that for me, I'm sorry?
No, she said she was.
Yeah, and I just think that that's for me, and I just, again, I just have to internalize this. I'm just sort of taken aback, thinking, wow, why are we even talking about this when there's so many goals that we have to reach that, that me as one trustee is expecting you to meet, right, as our chancellor. And so I just worry when we add things like this to the plate, when there's so much more that needs to be focused on.
I respect everyone's opinion, every trustee's opinion. But when I made my comment, I wasn't saying that people have a negative I've heard people say they had a negative appearance or opinion of Houston Community College. My comment is based on the fact that if we offer 4-year degrees, bachelor's degrees, and we're saying, we're sending these graduates out into the world expecting to get jobs with a 4-year, because they have a bachelor's degree. Realistically, companies, they consider where you received your education. I'm not saying anything about negative about Houston Community College, because just like you stated, Adriana, I get excited, when I'm at the hospital, because I done spent a lot of time there with my parents. And I hear people say they went to Houston Community College. They'd be proud. And they can continue to be proud. But we still have to, like Eva said, let's consider it, bring back more information for us to discuss. But it's no way on earth I'm saying anything to negatively impact Houston Community College. My mother, she got her associate's degree at Houston Community College. I took classes at Houston. Houston Community College has been a part of my life. But I still feel that we have to make sure if we're offering 4-year degrees, we have to be competitive. Yes, the chancellor has goals. I think her team is focused on those goals, and this is not something we even voted on. This is just a report item. So I don't think it's going to create a major distraction from what the chancellor and her team is doing. Trustee Wilson?
If my memory serves me correct, didn't Senator Mario Gallegos about 25 years ago push for a name change? Could somebody fill me in on the history of why it didn't happen?
I don't
I don't remember the history here, trustee.
I'm the only one that old here at the board, huh? Okay. Well, anyway, I can't remember why that was done, but I do remember that happening. The situation we're in now, and the fact that community colleges are kind of, in my mind, stepping out of their lane and getting in the 4-year lane, we've got some blurred lines, and whether you think it should happen or shouldn't, I don't think it should happen, but it's happened. We're there, and the lines are somewhat blurred. And us being competitive in the marketplace in the future, I think is probably the most important thing in my mind. I've got mixed emotions about the name change too, but I would like to see a study, and one of the main things in the study I'd like to see is the cost associated with that too.
It's the cost. That's the bottom thing, is how much is that going to cost us?
Well, it may cost, but then show me the benefits or justify the cost, and I'll vote for it. That's where I'm at. I think the cost is important, and I think, to me, the thing is being for this institution to be competitive in the future. We need to stay competitive, whatever that is. Thank you.
Y'all are probably sick of hearing this from now, but I agree 100% with the comments that Dr. Vanderbilt Stallworth said before. It's engineers together, right? That first bullet on the next steps, that really does resonate with me as well. I think where I'm challenged is, if we're going to go to the community, let's ask them for a holistic view of where we've stepped up and where we haven't met their expectations. Let's not presuppose the outcome and laser focus our discussion on a name change, because when we talk to the community, they may come back and say, we want this or that. We're good with the name. But there's always value, I think, in a broad internal and external stakeholder engagement. I would love to attend some of those meetings, frankly. I want to hear what the folks have to say all around the city. So 100%, I would be very supportive of an extended period. I mean, through the end of the year, let's have multiple town halls. Let's make sure all of our communities have a time to voice their opinions. Let's not rush the process. I still don't see the urgency. There's an urgency to engage and get feedback, but changing the name, I don't think if we do it in January or June or January 2026, I don't think that there's a big difference there. But if we engage broadly and the result that we need to change our name pops out, that's a different story than us specifically engaging on changing a name and finding ourselves, doing it at the end of the process. So let's engage. Let's give ourselves more time to do it. Let's not presuppose an outcome. We're going to have a wealth of knowledge and insights as we enter our budget period next year. All in for that.
I would just like to say thank you so very, very much for this conversation and for the feedback. It really helps us considerably. And I would like to also say that there is no way that I'm undermining what we do as a community college. But what I am seeing is that our students who want to get a baccalaureate degree have to go elsewhere in order to get it. And many times they lose credits. Sometimes it's more expensive, such as with the nursing program and so many of the others. And so what we are happy to do is to recognize that the board members want us to take a look at this, to examine this, and to see whether or not it's even plausible, and we'll be more than happy to bring that information back. And we had talked also about the town hall meetings and what they would be, where they would be held, and the inclusiveness of all of the trustees to make sure that you are there in order to also hear the comments. So I thank you very much for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
This meeting is hereby adjourned at
5:59 p.m.
Miss Karen.